Hello guys and welcome back to SM Software HTML Full Course 2025. Thank you for being here. My name is Shabani Muswamba. Alright, so today you are going to see our full course. We are going to learn full HTML, including CSS. So you are going to start from scratch. Right, so we are going to cover all the basics of HTML, all of that. So styling. By the end of the video, I promise you, we will create this beautiful business website. So we will build it and we will deploy it to a server, any server, cloud server or GitHub. And so we after that, after our full course, so we are going to do all of that deployment. Right. My name is Shaban Musomba. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and enable the notification. Let's get started.
All right, guys. So to get started, first of all, we need to ask ourselves or to need to understand what is HTML. Right. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Is a fundamental of every web page, every website you see online. It provides the structure and meaning of the web content, enabling the browsers to display text, image, video, and other elements in a structured way. So think of it as a skeleton of a website, determining how content is organized and presented. So that is for website. That is from HTML. So we also have CSS, because when you talk about the HTML or XML, so you must also talk about the CSS, because CSS is the one we use to style the web page so that you can see the way you see this website here. So we use the CSS to style it to make it looks beautiful, whatever. So we have CSS. CSS stands also for Cascading Style Sheet. Is a style sheet language used to specifying the presentation and styling of a document writing in a markup language. Okay, so such as HTML or CS or XML. Right. So another thing is what is a website? Because we talk about HTML, so we understand. We must understand what is the HTML for. So HTML is what is used for every website you see online. So we have HTML, and then also we have HTML and XML, but we are going to talk about only HTML on this video. So our website is all this one you see here, all this you see online here. This is our website, sir. So our website, our website is a collection of files. So we have HTML documents, CSS, style sheet, image, video, script, all of that hosted on a web server and accessed through the internet using our web browser. So a web browser could be Chrome, like it is Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, any web browser. Right. So we could also have talked about how internet works, but we don't want to talk about that to save time. So we're just going to focus on setting up some tools can enable us start writing our first HTML. All right. So to set up our tools or to set up our computer so that you can start writing our HTML, so we need a text editor. So by default, there is a text editor on your computer. If you go search for text editor, you'll see you get this notepad there. But this is not professional for you to write code. So I'm going to show you the good one. So you can use VS Code or Visual Studio Code. VS Code. Like this one, type this one. So you get this one. There is many, but this one is actually free and is very professional. So there's many, you can choose more. You can see we've got much more, but we prefer to use this one. So download this one. I have a video on my channel on how you can how to install Visual Studio Code, or VS Code in short. But if your computer is a new machine and is not for a developer, so you must do something here on your computer. Go to settings, or to search, search for developer setting, developer settings, this one. So click on this. So you must enable this option here. Visual Studio VS Code meant to work for now, but download some application, you get errors. So you must turn this on, this feature on. Why? Because it should enable you to install apps from any source, including the loose files. If you have any antivirus on your computer and you're trying to install this, so it should block it. All right, so download and then install. I'll see you in the next video. All right, so after installed your VS Code, so you will see it appear here on your window. So what we can do, we can double click. So this will open your VS Code. The VS Code is here. So we want to start or create our folder where we're going to store our files for our website or our HTML course. So we don't have any, but we can create. I can go to my desktop here. I create a new file. I'll just call it web source, like this, and then open that folder. So just now open the folder. Next, we want to now to create a file in here. So we can create a file called index.html. Now the file is here. All right, so this is it for creating our first, or creating our folder and then our file. But I want to show you an example before continuing. If we go back to our website, our browser, this is our current website. This we are going to build after this course. So you see that this website does not have a domain. The current domain we have here is actually the website is hosted on in my local machine, in this computer here, and you can see the location is a file, and then in a storage called F, a folder called tutorial, and learn html.html.com. So what I'm trying to show you that is, look here, we have here index.html, index.html. So if you create your file and you want the browser to read this file, or to open that file on the browser, so it must end with this extension .html. If I remove this and I try to load, this doesn't exist. So it must end with .html. So this doesn't matter. So this could be anything. It could be any name, doesn't matter, but the extension must be .html. So the browser will understand, okay, this is HTML and I need to display this. All right, so this was just the point. Next, we are going now to creating now our first document, the document type HTML, all of that. All right, see you in the next video. All right, welcome back. So after our file was created, so what we want to do now, we want to open this file from our browser. So I'm using Chrome, so feel free to use any browser, it doesn't matter. So what I want to do is I want to know where the location of this file. You can see the location that is from our desktop. So I can go to our desktop, can go to my computer, search for web source, the name of that this is the one web source. This is the one we created. You can see that is actually from my OneDrive and desktop. So this is the one here. So I can try to open this. If I try to open it, you see that since the file got an extension of .html, automatically to open on the browser. you can see now that it is on the browser, but we got nothing in here. So if you go back to our VS Code, you see that we have nothing. Of course, we have nothing, but we can write a message here. Hello world, from my first HTML file, and I save it. So if I go back to my browser again and I reload, now we see that content is here. So congratulations, we've just created our first HTML. All right, so now this is it. If now I want to create, now I want to put a line or create anything else, like for example, I want to just to be a bit bigger, the title. I want to be bigger, so I can create something which now it becomes now HTML, which now become HTML, because you can see that you can just create any text here. You can do something, for example, lorem, and then save that. If you save it, go back to the browser, reload, is there, but there's no any style. The browser doesn't know which one is title. Even if you put a title here, you put say this is the title, and you're supposed to give a line here, so the browser doesn't know. We're just giving, it's just going to show you everything the same as like that. Just going to render the text. If you go back, try to reload, so the whole thing is just text, simple, the same text. So that's why we have now HTML. So HTML now need to tell the browser how to display the content, how to structure the content. So this is now where the HTML comes in. So what we want to do now, we want to do, for example, let me do H1. I can create something, for example, I'll say, okay, H1. So H1 stand for heading 1. So I could create it. I could just say heading 1. Heading 1. I can say heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, but for HTML, heading 1 in short is H1. So we create like this in short, heading 1. So if I save that one, okay, and I go back to the browser, here I reload. Now we see that this one is now, the browser understand, okay, this is H1, this is heading 1. Okay, let's display it in a bold and big, like this one. So next, if now I want a paragraph, I can now write here paragraph, and like this one. But the browser, this is too long for the browser, but the conversion way is, instead to write this one, just put P. So this stands for paragraph. So if I save this and I go back to the browser, I reload. Now the browser understands, okay, this is the paragraph, so I can show it in a short way. So if I want to show a line here, could put a line here. So I can put a line, say line, like this, and then show everything inside. But the browser doesn't understand that. The way, the conversion way, if you want to break a line break, so there's so many ways you can do a line, you can do a break or whatever, but you just do HR. So this stands for a line. We don't need this one. So HR just showed like this one. So don't worry about all of this one. So don't worry about this. So I'm going to explain to you slowly, step by step, how I'm going to. I'm going to explain to you this one, so you'll be able to understand it. So if I save this one again, and I go back to the browser, and I reload. Oh, now the browser understand, okay, this guy means to put a line here, mean to put a line here. So this is now the line, this is a line. So if I want to a break, I want to space, so I can do BR for break. I can show it like this. So we have we have a way that we just communicate to the HTML with the browser. Browser understand the structure for our content. So I can save this, and I just save this one, and I can take this break again. Put you here. If I save that, go back to the browser, I try to reload, you can see that now we have much space here. So this is it for understanding the browser. Open your first HTML file in the browser, understand. So this is how it works. Next, we want to now understand now this opening and closing code, all of this. So we need to start now understanding. And first of all, understand now how does browser interpret the HTML? Because we have the HTML, we have the document, all of that. So how are you going to tell the HTML that this is what I want to use and interpret this website or this web page like this? All right, I'll see you in the next video. All right, so next, we don't need this for now. We can remove this, just copy them. But one thing is, we need to explain the browser everything we need. We need to tell the browser that, okay, this is an HTML document. So to do that, first of all, we need to do open. So we can use the arrow open, arrow left, the exclamation point, we do dot. Okay, you see, okay, this is document type is equal to HTML, because remember I told you we got HTML, we got also XML. So this is HTML. So you need to open it this way. So don't worry about autocomplete, because I'm using an application we help autocomplete. So after that, we also need to now do now opening and closing closing tag. So opening tag, so we need to put HTML, or put again arrow left, HTML, and then just close, close like this. Okay, so you see that automatically my editor knows that, okay, since we open HTML document, so you must close it. So this is the close HTML document, opening and closing. Right, so after that, we need now to tell the browser what I want to show you before going there, because we want to wrap up this very quick. If you go to any browser, let's take an example of Lenskill. So I just want to show you an example. If you take an example of this and then go here, you see that if your mouse hover, you see, I can see the name of this page here is Home Lenskill, and then they show you with some information, basic information about the page. If I got to my website here, you can see that I can also see some information about the page. So to get this information, to tell the browser what is this page or the name of the page, so you must tell the browser, or wrap this, create something called header or head, create head, open and closing tab. So in here, this is now where you are going to tell now the browser the name of the current page. What is the name of the current page? All right. So the name of the current page, we can now put that in a title. We can say title, open and closing again. So just type title, open and closing. And then here, say my first web page, like this one. Okay. So now the browser understands this is the header, and then we need now the body. Right. So to put the body is now where the content is going. If you go back to the browser, this is now where all this content is going. The browser, the body. We have the header. This is where is the page title, and then the body is the rest of the thing here is the body. So to create that, so we must say here body and then close again tag. So we have body, we have header and then the body. So from the body, now the content, remember the content to copy it here, we copied earlier. So this is where we can put them back here. So if I save the same content we had, now the browser now understand, okay, this is now the title, and this is the header, the head, and this is the body. Right. So I can show you. We got a little an issue here. This guy here is showing you. Is complaining. He say, we have a problem. What is the problem? You can see that red warning here. Say, okay, chess set, the character set meta element has not specified. So you must tell the browser that which character you're going to use. But this is not matter. Doesn't matter. We can just save this, and you go back to our browser. So you can close this one. This is our browser now. This is our application. But if I reload it, you're still seeing the same content. But now, look, we got now the title of the page, the name of the page, or title of this current page. Right. So if you go back here, you see now the same structure we had before. Instead to just write it like that or type it like that, so at least we have to give browser some information to tell where is the header, where is the head, where is the body, all of that. So we have much to learn from here. Not complicated, everything is so simple, so everyone can understand it. It's very simple, but I can try to explain to you just a little bit for what you have in here. First of all, we have this one, which is a doc type and then HTML. So this is just declaration which defines that this document or this page is an HTML5. So that's we have to say, okay, HTML doc type is equal to HTML5. So after that, we have now the root element. Root element is now HTML element. So everything you put in here, the browser is going to understand it, and knows how to interpret it. So there is a conversion way that, okay, we have we got the root. After the root, we need the head. So this is the element which contains now the meta information about the web page. So which you can have here the title, you can have another information which is not important for you to understand now. Secondly, in the header, I see, but what is very important is the title, because the title the web browser will need to know the title of the current page of your web page or website. Secondly, we have the body. So the body now is the element which now defines the documents which contain all of the visible content. Visible content. So visible content, we have the header, the paragraph. You could have here image, video, everything goes inside here. H1, we have seen it, which stand for heading 1, and then this also stand for for line and break, and also stand for paragraph. So what is an HTML element? So an HTML element is defined by starting tag, some content tag. So what do I mean? What I was telling you that I'm going to explain to you about when we talk about tags. So we have tag. First of all, this is a tag. This one we call it tag. So if we say open tag, so this means we put this we put this, the first one, this is open tag. So if we put now this line, the line you see here, this is now to show that, okay, we close the tag. So the break of the tag. So we must put again the name of the tag here. We must put again the name of the tag. So that means everything, all the content or the structure elements goes, the sub element or children, that goes inside the inside the tag. So we have open tag, and close tag. So this is the elements. I'm sure I'm a bit clear there, but these are things which will stay in your mind as you become a developer. So it doesn't matter to memorize everything now, but what we need to know is opening and closing tag. So these are HTML tag. HTML tag, we have HTML, we have head, which head tag, body tag. We can have also header tag. So you will understand all of that. So we got head H1 or heading one tag. We got line tag, break tag, paragraph tag. So all of these are HTML elements. Okay, so that's it for now. You can see that we managed to create our first website, our first HTML website, but we must tell the browser that which language is this one, which language is or which character does this website using. So this we are going to see it in the next video. Don't worry, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and enable the notification. So I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys. So just a summary for what we have seen so far. So we have learned how the web page works or website works. We also installation of VS Code and what you need to do for VS Code to start working on your computer. And also we wrote our first HTML code, and also we learn about the closing tag and HTML element or structures. So next we want to learn now about the CSS. So what is CSS? So we can go to your Google and type what is CSS. So of course CSS stands for cascading style sheet. So is the language sheet is the style sheet language used for describing the presentation of the document, writing in a markup language like HTML. All right, so this is it about HTML, the definition for CSS. Sorry. So what we want to do, we want to write now our first HTML. So we can go back to our VS Code here. What I want to show you first of all, you see, this is what we have for our web page. Why HTML? If you go now to our original website here, you can see we got animation, things how things loading smoothly. We see we got different colors, different size, font size, all of this. So this is now the job for CSS. So to handle now most of these things, first of all, we can go to our VS Code, uh, how to write the CSS. So there's so many ways you can write CSS. There is so many ways you can write CSS. First of all, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and also like the video. You can also share with your friends. So the we are going to see couple of way to write CSS. But one common way is create a separated file here, and then write your CSS and then link them here. But for starting or for just demonstration, I'm going to show you, for example, this is the title. If you see the title, the color we have here, the color is black, but we can try to set that title, set this color to red, for example. Let's say, or create another one. We have a title which is color is equal to black. By default, color is black, by the way. So let's say H2, and then now to write CSS, so we must tell the browser that, okay, this is now style. So we can say style is equal to, so we set color. So if you now select color, you say color, so that means that is the text color. Color only stands for text color. So you can say color, and let's say red, just like that. Set color is equal to red, and you must put semicolon to show that, okay, the line end here. So you can save this. So if you are on window, you can do Control S, or if you're on Mac, you can do Command S too. So if I save that and then I go back to my browser, so I try to reload. Right now you can see we only have one heading here, which say hello world from my first HTML file. So if I reload, now we have to, so this one color is red. So you can see now this is color red, but by default, all colors, the color for the whole web page is black. So it's the same. You can also change this one. You can still put color here. Let's say color is equal to, let's say green. Color is equal to green, and then save that. So we put also semicolon to save. So if I go back to our browser again, this one is black, but it should be green now. If I reload now, color is green. So this is it about styling. So that means we can style the whole thing. We can also change this background here. You can see it's white, but you can change it to maybe black, maybe any color. So imagine, can you actually, sorry, what we saw before first, it was that the body the body tag, this is where everything is stored. All the structure for the web page, the content, the visible content are placed in here in the body tag. So since we want to now this body tag here to be, we want to style it to give color red or color black or any color for the body. So that means we can come here to the body and then also add style here. Let's say, for example, background. Since we want to now to set the background color, so we can set background color. This stands now for the background color. And then let's say, for example, background color to black. Set background color to black. So if I save that, and go back to the text, you see right now the body is white, but if I reload it, now you see the background color is black, and you can't now see the rest of the content, the text, because by default is black. So if I can go back to here and then say, okay, if color is black, and I can say now if background is black, and then let's set color to white. Color to white. Remember here we can set color. Remember, color is interpretation of the text. So if you say color white, so that means every text in from the body here should be white. So if I save, remember also to put the semicolon. Save that, and I can go back to the browser. I reload. Now we will have text color, white text color here. So we have text white text color. So if I remove this one, I can demonstrate that if I remove this color, this style here and here, so we'll take the same color. If I reload, you see now the color is still now white. So you can now change the color for everything. From here, I can say again, color is equal to green. Set again to green. Save that. Back, reload. Now the color for everything is green. But except the HR or line, this one. So for line also can come and style it. Let's say color to let's say color to red, like that. I save, back to the browser, reload. Oh, sorry, it's supposed to set background color. Say background color for the line. Yeah, save that. Go reload. My bad. Color to green. Let's try that. Reload. Looks like the color is not showing there, but we will work on that one. We will check on that. All right. So this was just one way to show you how you can write CSS. So that means, but the one thing I want to tell you that you can see this is this way to write CSS. They call it inline CSS because you are writing CSS in line. So everything you are putting in line. So imagine if you have now a full or you have many elements within the body. So that means you will have styling all over and confusion of color. So sometimes you put color there to green, you put here to red. Sometimes it's not going to work. So and you can see that for the sense we have IntelliSense for VS Code. IntelliSense, you don't know about it. If you know, it's fine, but it is a way VS Code can detect and correct your code. Yeah? But you can see here is showing you warning that, okay, inline style should not be used. Move style to an external CSS. Why? So that external CSS, that's another way to write CSS. Why? Because you have too much, you have too much writing here, too much styling here. Color set red, color set black. So it's get confused sometimes. So we have internal CSS. Internal C First one we saw inline CSS, which is this one, and we also have internal CSS. We also have internal CSS. So for internal CSS, first of all, let's remove this one. We can remove all this style. Can just do Control Z to remove all of them. I do Control Z, keep typing that, so the color is gone, except this one and this one. So the style is gone. One thing we can do now to write now, first we want to write now internal CSS or styling. So we can do here, you come to the header, we can tell in the head here, you can say, okay, we want to write styling. We want to put styling. So we can say style, the same we're doing here, but now we just move it to the head, style, and then you can see now the IntelliSense for the VS Code is suggesting now the style for the body. So, for example, I can now say, okay, the same thing been doing here. First of all, if we come back here, reload, you see that the color, we haven't saved that. Let's save it and then come back to reload. Everything goes to the default color. Okay, so from here, I can now say, okay, we want to set now the background color. Instead now to do it from here, we can now just say body. So body, so that means you are targeting the body. So body, we set the color. You can set the color to, you can set the color to set background color, sorry. background color, let's set again to red or black, the same color, black. And if I save that, we go back to reload, you'll see now the background now is black. So I can go again, set let's say a color, the same color, text color, to white. And if I save it again, go back, reload, now the text is white. So this is the same, actually still the same thing. We are doing the same thing, but this is just a clean way to do things. But so imagine if you have now so much to style here. You have to style this, style the color, so, and plus some elements within the body. Now that this is going to get crazy. So the better way to do it is to remove this styling here, to just create a different file where we can place it. So we can place this style in a different file and then just link that file here. So anytime if your web page loads, so we just load also that style from that file. So to do that, we can create another file. Here we have an index.html. So we can create another file. We can call it anything, but it must also end with the .css. Sorry. It must end with the .css. So we can call it, for demonstration, let's call it the same thing, style.css. Style.css. So this is the extension. So if the extension is correct, you will see that icon there. So if you don't have icon, you can go and go to VS Code, click here, and you can look for icon. Icon. So you get the VS Code icons. So you can install this one. Install this one. This will help you to show you the icons for all of this. Right. Okay, so go back to the style. So you make sure that you name the file like this, with the extension .x.css. All right, so the same thing, our code, first of all, this is our style. This was our style here, but we can copy everything, just cut everything, and then go back here or paste them here. So we don't need to do this. We don't need to put again the style, the opening and closing style. This one, style opening here and style closing here. We don't need to do that since we have this the extension here. So this is not recommended. So what we can do is, I'm just going to remove this, the body, and delete everything else. So I'm just going to put the body in here. So I save this. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything until I linked here. So I told you we must link here. So we must put a link or load our file within the head of our HTML template or HTML page. So how are you going to do that? To do that, you must we have to use a link. There is a tag for HTML to load CSS. So any CSS, you must load it with this link, and then this stand for link. You can do rel and put now the style sheet. So this is just to tell this guy, to tell the HTML that, okay, to tell the browser that, okay, we want to load the style sheet. This is what this one stands for. And then this is now for the anchor tag, the reference, anchor tag reference, which is now we refer now to our file. Our file is the name for our file. The name of our file is style.css. So if I save that, so you must link this way, yeah. So if I save that and go back here, I reload. We make sure that our file is saved. This one is saved. So we must go and reload. Nope. There's something we are missing here. We didn't do it correctly. Are you still within the link? There is an error. Not supposed to have this one. So remove that. Okay, remove that and go back to, let's see. We also have to check, let's see. Yeah, so this is a correct file. Okay, so there is one thing I could explain to you, but for now I don't want to explain to you because it might confuse you. So what you can do is just put a dot and then put a slash like that. So to load the CSS, because make sure that everything is in the same folder, like this one, the same folder and the same level. So if I save that and go back to our browser, so try to reload now, we have now the background color. So the background color here, it doesn't look like that's black. If you can put the black color or red color to see, it's a black like this. And the text color you put to white is correct. So if I go back and try to reload again, so now the CSS is loading. So before it didn't work, what's the problem? So the problem is where you save the file is located, the CSS file is located, and the our main file or index.html file. So it must be in the same location on the same folder. If it is in the same folder, so to access it, so we can put I can explain to you this one now. So what I do is, if I put dot, so is to search the file, to search this from the same level. Dot, you can see now the IntelliSense can suggest me, what can show me all files available in the same level, the same folder. So we have CSS, which we want to link. So I can just select this one and press enter and save this one. So this is we saw two-way to write three-way actually to write CSS and link them. The first one was inline CSS. The second one was internal CSS, which is within the head tag, and the last one was create or separated CSS or external CSS. So create CSS in a different, a separated file. Right. So there's still another way which you can also load CSS from external, actually separated web. So it can load from a different browser or different server. So, but this is the three-way, which is very important for you right now. So we are going to work on this three-way. All right. The next video, so we are going now to work on writing now our CSS. So start styling and also add much elements. We can add more element on our HTML body tag and understand all these errors we are showing here, warning messages. You can see here about the element must have a lang attribute, all of this. So we are going to see the rest of the details about HTML in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. My name is Shabani Muswamba, and see you in the next video. Okay, guys, so welcome back. So we saw CSS, about CSS. We saw how many are the different way you can write CSS. So we saw you can write inline CSS, where you can add your CSS here, or you can also write internal CSS, where you can write your CSS within the head. or you can write external CSS. So that means create a separated file where you can now create your only CSS. So, and I mentioned that external CSS. This is the one. This is the one we actually use. So use that more. So you can use external CSS to link like this one. So with this one, it can also link even a file, even load a different website style. So this is how it works. Right. That was it for CSS. But there you got a couple of things with CSS. What we can do. Um, so there's many of the many things you can do with the CSS styling. So we can create a layout. So for example, when I mean what I mean by layout. So I mean structure this content, this page, how you want the content to look, and the size of the content, the card, the sections, different sections. So we can do a lot with the CSS. But what I want to show you. What I want to show you now is just few of them, because we can't cover everything in the one video. But what we can do is I can show you a couple of way things. For example, selectors, create comment, colors, background color, borders, margin, create padding, setting height, white box, create things like text, color, font, and links. So these are things I can show you. So the rest of the things you will cover the rest of the things with the time. So we will also create a project which can help you understand different things. So what I can show you for now is okay. This is what we have. For example, this here we call it a selector. This way type of doing things we do a selector. So you selected the body. So this is we selected the body. But before that, I want to show you one thing, which is a comment, which is also very important. What is comment? So comment is just a way to write the code, to write explain something. And once you put comment, so the browser will ignore that. You want to read it. So how do you write comment? For example, you can on your window or Mac, if you are on window, you can do control plus dash key. There is a minus key on your keyboard. Yeah, is usually most next to shift key. Is usually next to shift key, but sometimes you can just do this way. You put a slash and then you put what do you call that, star, and put another star, like this, and then put again the slash. So we have opened the comment. Let's start again this way. Slash, which is a backslash. I don't know, is that backslash of slash forward? So and then you put now star, that open the comment. So you can see that the intelligence can suggest you the comment. So if I close now the comment, I can put another star and then close again that with a slash forward. So now this everything you write in here. For example, this is my first CSS. So the browser want to read this. The browser want to read this. So why this? So the comment is just the way. Let's say, for example, I don't want to show the color here. I don't want to select the color, or I don't want to show the background. I can put a comment put the comma and then close it again. Close. So now that the browser want to read this comment. So if I do Control S to save it, make sure that here is nothing changed. So I'll go back to my browser. This is our website. So if I reload, now we don't have the background yet. So I can go back to my CSS again and then say, for example, remove background. I keep the color. Let's say I select this color. So I want to show you another way also you can select color. So for colors, there's many ways you can select color. So you want to cover that because there's so many online, you can find them. So I can go select color like this. If you are using VS Code, the color will automatically, you will see this box, this color box selector, you can select. So if I save this and go back to my browser, try to reload again, you see that we still have the same thing. So the comment is we can do it in the CSS like this way, even also from the HTML, you can also do the comment like this way. So I can do the same thing. But sorry, for HTML, if you want to open, it's a bit different from CSS. And you see, for CSS, you use a forward slash plus star to show comment. But here we can do this way: arrow left, and then the slash, and then the other side also arrow. Arrow right. Sorry, that's not correct. Let's see again. Okay, so we do there we can do, let's try comment here. So I just want to show you somewhere you can write something like this one. So I can do you can do arrow left, and then exclamation point, dash dash. This is my comment, and then you see automatically you close it. So you can do again dash dash, and then hyphen hyphen, and then arrow right. So this will create comment. So if you are on window, you can, there is also short keys. So I'm not going to cover that short keys, but there's a short keys which you can use control. You can use control and hyphen on your keyboard. So this will set comment automatically. So that's what we usually use. So you'll understand about that. So we use match keys. Can use, for example, control hyphen this, which will add automatically comment. So if I save that, and so that means I'm telling the browser that, okay, don't read this line here. So if you go back to here, I reload. So the browser is not going to ignore this line. If I reload, that line is gone. So this is it about comment. What next do we need to cover? Because we are not going to cover everything, so we just want to cover a few things so that can help us understand a little bit about the CSS. So what we wanted to cover is about the selector. So what do you mean selector? Selector select the HTML elements. HTML element or elements, plural or singular. So the element you want to style. So that mean here I select body. I say okay, body. I select body. So what if I select body? So that means I select this one. This is the element. This is the HTML element. But you can't say, you cannot select this. You can't select this one because this one is invisible. You can, the user cannot see this. This is the only browser. Only browser can read this, except this title. The rest of the things that the machine can read that. So I say, okay, select the body, and then I set the color. I set the background color. So you can also select H1. H1, we said that H1 is heading 1. So you can say here is heading 1, heading 2, I can also say heading 3 and heading 4, and then also heading 5 and heading 6. So we have heading 1, 2, 3 up to 6. So if I save this one, I go back to my browser here, I reload them. You see that we have here, so you can see different sizes. Can see different sizes. So you can also still resize them if you want. So let's say in here I said okay, I select H1, H1, and then I say H1 color, color to red. So H1 is going to give color to red, and then the font size. Let's say we also want to talk about the font size. So the font size, we will talk about that later, a little bit later. But right now, let's just cover this one. So I can set, okay, H1 color to red, and I say H2 color to blue, and the H3 color is set to green, and the H4 color is set to yellow, and H5 color to orange, and then H6 color to purple. So I save that. I go back to my browser. So if you reload, we will have different colors here. Yes, exactly. So this is how we select color, how we set colors. So I can also say, okay, H1 I can set font color. So the color, the size is the size we use pixels. We use pixels for colors. So what I can do, I can just show you an example first and then explain to you. All right, so I can do H1, I can set font size. So we have font. Before we continue, let's talk about the font. So we have font family, which represent the styling, the family of of the text, how we want the text to be. So you can also see that this actually specify prioritize prioritize list of font family name or generic family name. So we have different font families. So I'm not going to cover that one. So you can do research about that. I just want to cover 2 or 3 things here. So I want to cover about font style. So indicate the size, the desired height and glyph from the font. So how you want to the size you want. You want it to be big, you want it to be small, you want to this represents the size. So we use now the pixel. We use the pixel. So we use the pixel to show. So the way I can do that, because we have font size, we have font weight, so we can cover things like this one. Let's put a pixel here. So let's say, for example, 40 pixel. But for now, some things we can just cover, just keep it like this. So we don't want to explain too much. Pixel. So we can save that. So if I go back to the browser, now we get this size. We can also try to resize it this way, so that we don't have to keep going back and forth. So can resize the browser, the editor, so it can fit. Close this one. Yes. Yeah. So this is better. Right. So now you see, if I set here, let's say I give it size to 100 and I save it. So if you go reload, now you see the size here. So we use pixel to represent the size of the size of a text, but by default you can see the size is already covered. If you also want to show different sizes, okay, So we have font. The other one I'm not going to cover that because I don't want you to confuse you with so many things. So we can also do font weight. So font weight. This is how you want to show it the bold. Let's say we have 100 up to 900. So if I say, for example, bold, that is how it should. It should be bold. If I reload that, you see the now this is the initial size, but at least is bold. If I comment this one and reload again, let's see, what did I type here before? Let's put first of all 100 to see. Put 100. If you reload, get this one. If you put 200, so this is the same size, different sizes, so we can't cover all of them to save time, but you can play around with them. Put 500. You see 500 is there. You can also put font size, let's say to 40 pixel, and you save that. This is what you get. So you got so much of them, so much you can play around with them. Let's say put, for example, 700, and if you reload, this is what we get. So we can't. You can actually go ahead and play around with them, most of them, but you will cover much of this one once you start building a project. Right. That was it for setting size, font size, but we also have font family, which we will cover maybe in the next tutorial. For right now, let's cover, for example, now aligning a text or aligning the text. So you can say, okay, you want this text to show on the middle. You want the text to show on the middle. Right now is on the left side. So by default, everything on the browser goes on the left side by default. So let's say you want to this text to go on the middle, to show on the middle. So we can do text align center. So it takes align to center. So if I save that to reload, now the text is in the center. If I resize the browser, you see that the text is in the center. You can also do the same thing. If you go here, instead to put here, I can remove it, but I want all text within the body to go in the center. So I can put here, save that, and go reload. Now everything is in the center of the page. All right, so this is it. That's it for selector. That's not it. That's not it. You still have much more to cover. For example, we can go back to selector. Here you see that we can select the H1, H2. We can also select the paragraph. Okay, we can select the paragraph, set the color, and then also set the font size, etc. All right, guys. So next, you can select a paragraph. You can select also section. You can select let's see here. Okay, so if I expand this a little bit, this is what we have here. So we have a paragraph, H1 and H2. So we also have section. So let's say, for example, I can give a section. So let me use a comment here. Say section for section for what? Let's say for another element. So I can do section open and close. So open and close tag. So just call it section. This has generated content by AI. So this is a section. So we can also create, let's say, add another break here. So you can also create, let's say, you can have another section. Um, let's add another section, or let's say footer. So we are just playing around with the HTML to understand some couple of things, some the structure, the styling, so that we can go to build that actually something. So let's say footer. So for footer, we also have this tag called footer, HTML tag called footer. So I can open footer and close footer, open and then close. So I can do this is footer. This is footer. Okay, this is a simple HTML structure. No, I just want to say this is footer. Footer and another element. We have seen all of this one. Another element here which you can talk about is link. It's also HTML link. So link, if you want to create a link, a link is something where user you can actually click to go somewhere. So can do open. A link is represented by A. It stands for anchor tag. So you can do A, and then you give it the link. So A, and then is also just you can now put the reference, which is now the URL, and then let's say this is a link. So if I save that, all right. So I want to show you a couple of elements in here. So we got section, we got a footer tag, we got a link tag. We also have the common or the most used is div. Is a div. So div stands for division. So you can do division, but this is long. You can just write the short one. Div stands for division. So you can do div, and let's say in div here, you can add h1, say subtitle. You can add anything in here. You can add content, image, or anything. So now let's talk about image too before going back to CSS. So we are just playing around with the HTML tags here. So image tag is represented by um, IMG. IMG stands for image. So you can select this one, IMG, and we can use this. If I copy this one, let's copy that. Go to the browser. This is a placeholder, vi.placeholder.com. So this is a placeholder you can use to test the image. That one is not loading, but there's many you can use. You can also use Pixabay here if you want to test. We just want to get some image to test. Pixabay. So this is the image. You can copy. You can go here, copy a link. You can also just do like this: copy image address. Resize this. Go back to our website. So we can replace this one here, the source here. I haven't finished explaining you the image IMG yet. All right, so image is represented by IMG. So if you open image, remove this one, everything first. So this is image, and the source of the image is required. So SRC stand for source. So you can do SRC like here. XRC is equal to, so this could be could be single quote or double quote, it doesn't matter, but you must put the quote and then now provide the URL, the link for image we want to load. So image, you can load external image, or you can also just have some images here. Just put an image here and you will be able to load that. So we will do that in the project when we start building a project. But this is just for demonstration. Right. So we covered things like div, section, and then also footer. So what I want to show you, another thing is that, okay, from footer here, you can actually put a div in here and then put that one here. So you can put as many as you can, div. So put another div, you can put another. So this div doesn't make any sense, it doesn't do anything. It help you to divide an element and children, stuff like that. Right. So I can save that and go back to our CSS. But what I want to do, first of all, we can go, we want to see our website. If you go back here, try to reload, open. This is what we have. So you can see that, okay, our website will be able to load. It was able to load this image. And down here, we got now a link. So you can see now this is a link. If I click on it, it's redirecting us to this one. So it doesn't matter if I can go and change that. Let's change to something else, change the link to something else. So for example, to redirect us to learn skill. If I save that and reload, scroll down again. If I open, now it's redirecting us to learn skill. So you can say, for example, this, I want you to notice something. If I click here, you see it's opening in the same window, the same tab, but we can tell the browser to open this in a new tab. So to do that, we can just say target. Let's see, sorry, need to expand this so that I can see. All right, so to do that, I can add another, I can add target. So within the a tag, anchor tag, can do target and is equal to, sorry, is equal to underscore, and then you put blank, underscore blank. Okay, let's see. Target is equal to underscore blank. Okay, so ignore this warning message. We don't want to cover that one. It's required another attribute, which is a real link, but we don't want to follow that. For now, I just want to demonstrate this one. So we only add one attribute here, which is target, to target blank, so to target a different tab. So that means if I go back to my browser here, let's back, this is our website. If I reload that and if I open this now, it will open in a different tab. Now it's opening in a different tab. So you just can load anything. So another thing also I want to show you a little bit is that this image here, you see, if you click on it, it doesn't show you option to click. But most of the time, if you go, for example, here to this website here, you see that the link is showing you, is asking you, you can click me, click me, click me. So to show that from the HTML, so you can just wrap this in anchor tag. This is anchor tag, and so that's anchor tag. So just remove this one and we replace with the image. This is image, target blank. So we can say on click, On click, we want to redirect to Pixel Bay, which is the same website. So I put here and save that. So if you go back here, reload. Now you see our image now is showing, okay, cursor pointer. So if I click, now it will open now that image from the Pixel Bay. So this is it. So we got much to do. We got much demonstration, but here we also got an issue. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Oh, is something missing in here? Okay, let's just walk a little bit here. A tag it blank like that. So if you put now this one, all right, save that. All right, so this is it to just showing you. I was just showing you a couple of elements, HTML elements. So you don't need to memorize them, all of them, memorize them right now. So we will start building a project. So this you will understand all of this one. Another thing is now if you go back to the style, so we can now select now each of this element. Um, let's say, for example, if you see our image, we can set it, we can give it a size. So if you want to select image here is IMG. So I can say IMG. So I want to give it height. So we have height and wide. So I can say, let's say wide to, let's give it to 100 pixel. And then we also set height to 100 pixel too. So if I save that, reload, now the image will be smaller like this. So you see, we just selected the image. This is now what we call selector in CSS. We call selector. So I can also select this link. You see the text is blue. I can select it. I can say anchor tag, and I can say color. Let's say color to yellow. I save that. Now color is yellow. So we can do much. You can set much. You can attribute much things there. Doesn't matter. But I'm just showing you some examples to save time, because we will cover much of this when we start building a project. What else? You can also select. We can also say that on hover, for example, on hover here, you can have some coffee. Thank you. On hover here, you see the color is still it doesn't show, it doesn't show anything. But you can say, okay, on hover, let's say anchor tag, another style is dot, column, and then we say hover, and we want to do something. Hover means that when the mouse pass over, when the cursor pass over, so we want to do something. Let's say when cursor pass over, I want to set color to red. So if I save that and reload, go back, when the cursor pass over, now the color is equal to red. We can also select, if you go back, we got this div, so we can select div, say div. We can give it color. We give it color, background color for that div to red, and then also we give it padding. All right, so padding is just the space we give between within the element. So within the element, we give it some space, some padding. We also set the margin is the same thing. So margin is how do you want to resize the element inside. And we also got border radius, which is we can show kind of corners, sharp corner or a rounded corner. Let's say, for example, border round radius to 20, and I can save that. If you reload that, now we see all our containers, all our div. The cut now background is gray and they are rounded corners. We can maybe set border. This is where is the border color. This is a rounded border radius. You can also set border color, border, but we don't want to cover that to save time. We don't want to cover that. We will cover that in the next episode. All right, so this is a border color. We can select. This is a div. You can also select a section. Any section, we can do the same thing. We can also give it padding and then margin and then border radius. So everywhere is section, we will get this. So this is our section. So if I go with you, I'll show you. Section is here. This is a section. So I can also say, okay, this is section. Let's say section. I can select now the children within the section. So I can do section, any H1, any heading in the section will give it attribution of color, or give it color of blue, font size 30 and font weight to 700. So if I save that, I go here, there is no H1 in here. So if you see, you don't have H1 in the section. But if I add section here, let's say if I add the H1, I add H1, so you can add this H1 here. Hello world from my first HTML. Let's say hello world from section, like this. So I save that. Go back and reload. Now you see we get now here. We get now color. But you can also say that H1 and let's say H2 and H3. So you can select all of this one within this section. We set the color to that. We set these colors. Another tag, HTML tag we haven't covered is a list. So we have, let's say list. So we have two type of list. So we have an ordered list and ordered list. So ordered list, that is the one you can set. Let's create an ordered list here. So I'm using an instance which can speed up, but for beginners, we just have to type everything from scratch. Just have to type manual so that I can see. So if you want to create now an ordered list, you can open a tag. Let me expand this. Yes. So can open the tag. UL stand for an ordered list, like that. Ordered list, and then close the tag again with the another list. Got to remove one here. Close the tag. Right. So it require now the item. So item now we can just say okay list. If you put L, LE stand for list. So list item 1. So open the tag for list and then close it again. So item 1, you can have item 2 and item 3 and item 4, item 5. So if you want to now create now ordered list, so you can also just open the tag and then you say ol send for ordered list, and then close the tag again. So item 1, 2 up to 5 again. So if I save them and I go back to my browser here, reload this. So now you see we have the first one is an ordered list. Remember, everything is in the center, but you can remove that here. Can change, sorry, remove this guy. So we don't want to show things from the center. We want to show starting from left. So if I reload, everything starting from left. Right. So the first one is an ordered list. So there's no number. I can remove this number because I don't want to confuse you with this. But this is just showing you list 1, 2, 3. This is just to showing you list 1, element 1, 2, 3. So you can put anything there. It doesn't matter. Doesn't need to be a number, something or something. So order list just show you just counting the element. So you can now also target the list. So let's add comment here. Say target the list. So I can say for all unordered list, UL standing for unordered list. I can take them. So I say, okay, an ordered list style type is equal to none. So what is the style type? Style type is this one you see. This dot. These are the ordered list. This dot. And then there's also padding between the element. You see, from this element to another one, you have this spacing. So we said, okay, padding to 0. So if I save that, reload, you see, okay, we don't have any padding. So there is no any space. Default default style. Because remember, every browser has a default style for every web page. So doesn't matter you have given the CSS the style or not, but once the browser get your page, start loading it. So there is default styling for example, things like list, another list, ordered list, all of these things, anchor tag, all of this. All right, so now you have removed this one, but you can also give a different color, you can different style. You can set also margin to 0. You don't want to have any within margin or inside margin, but you can also add things. Let's say, for example, color. Now you are targeting now the text. Remember, color is about targeting the text. So we can set color to yellow green, kind of that. And then if you save, you reload, now this will get. So we can do the same thing with the ordered list. First of all, you see, you are targeting the whole thing, an ordered list element, or all elements within the body, or all an ordered list elements within the body. So this, we are not targeting only one element, we are targeting all of them. So this, they actually apply to the everything. I'm giving you another example. You see, for example, here, image. We select image. So this is applying to every element within the body. Within the body. So section, div, so this is the same thing. So we're applying to every element. So here we are targeting now an ordered list, but let's say, okay, an ordered list, this is the container, like the whole thing. Let me show you an example. So you are targeting this, the parent, but what about the children? So this is what we are doing here. So we say, okay, an ordered list, and then we target now the children. So all lists inside an ordered list. So we give them the space. Let's say, for example, we set the padding to 5, and then margin to 5, and then we set also the background, the color. We set also the the border radius, all of that. So if I save that and reload here, look what we get. So we get now this one. We have set the color, we have set everything. The border radius, so is a bit rounded. All of this. So we can do the same thing for another thing. We can also do is we can also add an ordered list. You can also select the same an ordered list, and then select the children, every child within the children, and then set, okay, well, hover. We can set the background to blue and then text to white. If you save that, go back here. So if I pass the cursor hover, of if hover the element, you can see now we set the background color to blue and the text white. So this can be, we can apply the same thing to ordered list. You can do the same thing for to ordered list. So let's say, for example, for ordered list, okay, we also set, you can also select style type, decimal, and then also padding, and then you set the color. We select also we select the children, and they give them the color, and then you do the same thing hover. So if I save that, you get the same thing for ordered list too. This is here. So we got much to do. We got also things like table. You can also use table if you want to cover that. We got the table. We can create. Let's play a little bit around with the table before closing this. Right. So for table, can close this one and expand this. For table, here, let's add break here and another break here. Okay, right. So for table, you can also just open the tag. Say the element, table, and what do you want? So you open the table. We don't want to follow. We don't want to autocomplete or follow the AI. Yeah? So we want to type it. So table. If you just say table, there's nothing going to happen. If you save it, there's nothing going to show there, because we need to show for table is usually we have the table title, heading, and all that's the structure for table. So we need to go and work on this step by step. Right. So we got the table. First of all, we need to define table. So we need now to define now the row. Row. So we can say table row attribute tr stand for table row. So open and close. So for table row, what do you want to show? We want to show heading, and we want to show heading. Let's say, for example, let's follow these suggestions. Let's follow this suggestion from AI. So we can show head 1, head 2, and head 3. That is for we have table row, and then we have table header, which is this one. So we also have TD, sent for table, table body or table data cell. So we can do TD. Okay, table data cell. So if I just save this one, and we go back let's go back to our browser here. We want to see the table, so we don't want to really structure that because it may take us much time. So we have, you can see now we have a header 1 and header 2. So if you want to now add the cell or data cell for the table, we can do, let's say, for example, data cell. Okay, so TD cell 1, row 1, cell, and then row 2, cell. So row 1, row 2, row 3, and then we show the cells. We show the cell. Okay, so we show the cell. So for the table, we don't want to spend much time there. We will discover that later because we have already spent much time. So HTML, we got a bunch of things there to do, but it's also very easy to understand. So if I save that, we got an error here. Let's see. Okay, I want to see how can you do it a short way. Okay, so we can do this and also so add another here and another here. So that we will have how many we're going to have in total. The 1, 2, and 3. Nope. Oh, this was already closed there. That's what I'm trying to see. That was already closed there. Okay, so this is just the TD body, the table body. Right, so what we're supposed to do in here, we actually supposed to wrap this in TR. So TR for table row again, TR row, and then we pass now, we can now pass, let's TR again. So we pass now again. Okay, how many rows we got here? How many cells we got up there? So we got 1, 2, 3, and then here also we got 1, 2, 3. These are cells. The top header, the header there, we got a row with some cells there. So if I save that, we go back to our browser here. We can reload. Now you see that, you see header 1, row 1, row 1, cell 1, row 1, cell 2, row. These are, so we can actually start this. We can actually start this. So if you want to start this, you can have many rows, cells, all of that. So here we can style. If we have a table, we can also do a stacked table. Say, okay, allow me to use this. So I'll explain to you the CSS because the style, because it's just the same thing we are repeating here. So we take border collapse, border collapse, and then white to set to full, and color for the text. Remember, color is for the text, and then white, and a table header. So we target the table header, which is TD TDH. So we have TDR, table row, and then TDH. So once we target these things, and we just give some space within, and then also align text to left. So from text to left. Remember, we have text align, which is say you can set to center or right, and then border bottom. We also set the line. So border, we will explain to you this when you start building a project, so we can cover about this later. So I can save. Well, we have also TD row or table row. However, we want to show the background to light blue and the color to white. So I can save that and back to our browser here is to reload. So this is what we get for the table. All right. So we got much we can do with the things with the CSS and the HTML. So we got a bunch of things. There is many. There's some platform like 3W3 School can do 3W School. These are some resources. Sorry. 3 School. Yes, this one. So this some resources you can use online. Some tools you can use to train yourself. So we got a bunch of them. Let me find my note. How many can you find online can help you train yourself? So we got 3W3 School. We got also this what call that again? Let's see. W3 School. You see, you can have HTML here. We have CSS, so you can find much of them here. Can play around, but what I can advise you is that follow the steps, watch the video, follow the steps, download the VS Code, and practice by yourself. Right? So follow from your computer, from your VS Code. So this is a very good practice. You can follow 3W School, or can follow Trick CSS. Tricks, the Trick CSS, something like that. Yeah, this one too. So this is to help you just get how to play around with the CSS, to create flex, boxing, all of this. You can play around with this one, but make sure that you download your VS Code and practice from your computer with your VS Code. Create project, create some web page, play around, cover what we have, what we didn't cover in here. So try to play around all of that one. So next we are going now to create now this business web page. Business web page. And then after that, I will show you next how now we can deploy that to our server. I don't know, start from cPanel or cloud server like Amazon or Azure or Google Cloud. So we are going to cover this on the next on our next video. All right, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. My name is Shaban Musomba, and see you in the next video.
Right, that's it for now, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Do stay subscribed for more.